So very good morning to all. So we start the session 2, day 4. So without much wasting a time, I would like to request Professor Simit Prajapati from Automobile Engineering Department to introduce our speaker, today's session speaker. Welcome, Simit.
Thank you, Professor Yagnesh Gambava. So it's my pleasure to introduce our second session, day 4 speaker, eminent speaker, Mr. Subhas Joshi. He has over 25 years of rich experience in managing entire plant engineering activities. Currently, he is consultant at freelance consulting in the area of operations excellence in engineering industry since December 19. He has completed his Bachelor of Engineering in Electronics and Power Engineering from VNIT, Nagpur in 1988. He has completed his PGDM in Marketing and Finance from XLRI, Jamshedpur in 1995. He has started his career as a graduate engineer trainee in at Tata Engineering and Locomotive Corporation Limited. Then at the same place he has promoted as a deputy manager. Then he has also worked as a assistant general manager at HVXL Limited, Tata Motors at Jamshedpur. He has also worked as a deputy manager and general manager at Hero Motorcraft Limited at Dharuhera as well as Vadodara. And right now he is consultant, his own consulting named as a freelance consulting. So as I remember, he has also delivered one wonderful informative lecture in our HTTP in October month. So his views regarding the industrial areas are very fruitful. So now I would like to request Mr. Subhas Joshi to start his session. Sir, please.
Yeah, thank you, Civil. Thank you, Yagnesh Bhai. Thank you, Sanjay Bhai, HOD, Automobile Engineering, ADIT. And thank you to this forum of FDB, where I'm able to interact with almost 50 people at present. Some of them I am known also. I can see one or two people are known to me. They have also contacted across. Let us now look at the title of today's presentation. It should take about an hour plus. And then after that, we can have a question answer session. In fact, it is okay for me if there is one or two queries in between, because this is something that I have been passionate about for last 6 to 8 months. I have consolidated the kind of information available across open source, and hopefully this will be useful to the participants, whereby they can understand what actually is this craziness about lithium batteries. So some ideas I will talk about today. My thinking on lithium batteries is that this is going to play a key role. Now, whatever fuel may be there to run, especially if you look at Japan, what Japan is doing is it's building more on hydrogen cell, more of hybrid, whereby it can continue to have some sense of fuel other than electric. So it's called PHEV. Okay. And India is more or less pushing, till now it was visible that India is pushing for electric vehicles. But recent announcement by the Honorable Prime Minister to start a hydrogen mission That gives another dimension to the renewable or the alternate fuels in India. A lot of energy going to be put into the hydrogen cell as well. Let's go to what I have planned to do in this. We'll talk about the history of electric vehicles, then a little bit on history of batteries. What is battery? Mostly automotive industry looks at battery as one of the supply chain item. Mostly not everybody in automotive field knows so much about battery. And lithium battery has made a lot of enthusiasm among all the automotive people, including myself, as to what this battery is and why is it that it is lithium. So we will have a look at what is battery, why lithium. We'll see that there is some kind of a two-quadrant matrix which decides why lithium. We'll see what are the parts of lithium battery, and then we'll see a short video on how the lithium battery internally works. Then what are the varieties of battery, in what forms, in what kind of capacity, in what kind of combinations of chemical goes about in it. Then we'll see design, cell design, then we'll see battery pack, form factors. We'll see characteristic performance.
Oh, sir. Hello. Hello. Hello,
Yes,
sir.
yes, Simit, something is wrong with Mr. Subhash Joshi.
Okay, okay.
I think.
अच्छा.
Mr. Joshi, your presentation disappeared, and I think some network issue is there.
Yeah, there was. Am I audible, Yagnesh bhai?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there was some network issue on my side. I think I have been able to come back.
Okay, no issue, sir.
Okay, so then we will talk about, see, today, all of us are using mobiles. And if you happen to open the mobile phone to see the battery, it's written lithium battery or lithium ion battery. And most of us do not know what to do when our phone has become dead, or when we want to change the phone, unless we exchange it with the buying guy, selling guy, we just keep our phones in a corner. Actually speaking, the battery inside can be reused. We will see some use cases in two-wheeler, three-wheeler, some package of batteries, how it is defined, what kind of parameters are there in it. And of late, in last about a year or so, I've seen that there's a lot of research going on in the area of lithium battery. So we will see some of the development that are very, outshining the majority in the area of lithium battery. So let's have a look at the first slide. If you, I don't know how many of you really know that first vehicle that was created of electric was somewhere in 1828. The first production vehicle was somewhere in 1884. It took 50 years to make it a production worthy vehicle in electric. And these EVs had clear advantage over the steam and gasoline power. Actually, it started with the steam engines. Now, what used to happen is दिस स्टीम इंजन को सुबह सुबह अगर चालू करना है, देखो कोल्ड कंट्रीज में ये चालू हुआ है, सबसे पहले एक आदमी आएगा, उस पूरे स्टीम का तैयारी करेगा, स्टीम रेडी होगा, उसको बोलता था शॉफर. नाउ अ वार्मर, that was a job given to a warmer. He had to come, boot the entire system for creating battery. जैसे बॉयलर हाउस होता है इंडस्ट्रीज में, वैसे वो बॉयलर चालू करेगा, स्टीम को रेडी करेगा, गर्म करेगा, और उसके बाद में वो चालू होगा. So it had its own set of noise. Now this became the major advantage of electric. Sound and startup delay versus इलेक्ट्रिक एक बार चाबी घुमाया, चाबी तो खैर उस जमाने में था नहीं, ये जो भी स्टीम इंजन या इवन फ्यूल, फॉसिल फ्यूल का इंजन में भी चाबी नहीं होता था, तो इसलिए उसको चालू करने का जो मुशक्कत है, उसके कारण इंटरनल कंबशन इंजन बिकेम स्लो, डिले. एंड दिस इंटरनल कंबशन इंजन एक्चुअली केम along with the engine muffler in 1897. मतलब मफलर को बना के लगाना है, ये फंडा चालू हुआ 1897 में, और इलेक्ट्रिक स्टार्टर आया 1911 में. मतलब उसके पहले स्टार्ट करना है तो क्रैंकिंग करता था, क्रैंकशाफ्ट को पकड़ के क्रैंकिंग करना है, घुमाना है इंजन को, तब जाके वो इंजन चालू होगा. एंड देन केम दिस कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ इंजन इलेक्ट्रिक स्टार्टर. बट ये उस समय क्या है, उसमें बैटरी लगाया, चार्ज किया, तो बैटरी का जितना नॉलेज है वो एक स्टार्टर जैसे ही यूज करता है उसको. बैटरी है, इंजन को चालू करेगा, और बाद में क्या होगा नहीं मालूम उसको. ऐसे इजीली स्टार्ट होना और अच्छी स्पीड में चलना, दिस बिकेम इंपॉर्टेंट, एंड दैट इज हाउ इंटरनल कंबशन इंजन टुक ओवर द इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स इन दैट एरा. बट अब क्या हो गया है, अब एक 100 साल हो गया है, उसके बाद में इतना पोल्यूशन जनरेट हो गया है इसके पेट्रोलियम के यूसेज के कारण, जो हमारी जनरेशन या हमारे पिछली जनरेशन ज्यादा सफर की है. हमारी जनरेशन तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने डंडा चला के BS 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ले आया है, जिसके कारण कार्बन एमिशन का जो सेंस है वो हम लोगों ने डेवलप किया है. पर हमारी सीनियर जनरेशन जो 60s, 70s, 80s में गाड़ियां चलाती थी, 2 गाड़ी इंडिया में ज्यादा होती थी मैं जब छोटा था तो, वन वाज एम्बेसडर, दूसरा वाज पद्मिनी. और अगर गली में एक एम्बेसडर है और वो चालू कर रहा है तो पूरी गली को मालूम हो जाएगा कि भाई इंजन चालू हो गई है और इंजन चलने वाली है, अब गाड़ी जाने वाला, वो आदमी जा रहा है बाहर कहीं. See, that was an era where vehicle needed to be taken care by the user or the driver. अंदर में एक परिक्रमा लगाता था, वो सब चीज को है कि नहीं देख के जाता था, पानी डाल के चलाता था. But as the technology progressed, this became very easy. Today you have automatic gear, automatic start, and everything automatic. दरवाजा को भी बंद करना, सब बहुत सारा automatic हो गया. And the comfort has made automotive progress heavily. But carbon emission has made a pressure on the internal combustion engine. So is this theme taken as alternative fuels. And one of the alternative fuels which most of the entire industry is pushing across is the electrified transportation, be it in the bus, in the auto rickshaw, in the cycle rickshaw, or sort of e-auto, and cars, two-wheelers, even bicycles in electric mode. Particular importance to enable electrified transportation is actually the availability of economically and technological robust batteries. देखो, the batteries were, we just knew lead acid battery, then came lithium, NiCad battery. See, what is the history of batteries? Initially we had lithium batteries, then came NiCad battery, nickel cadmium battery, then came nickel metal halide batteries, then came lithium ion. In 1859, there was a plant lead acid batteries. Then 1899, this concept of nickel cadmium came, but it had an issue called memory effect. Memory effect मतलब उसको मालूम पड़ जाता था कि कितना मेरा consumption हो गया है, and that became a negative for the nickel cadmium. Then in 1985, first time this lithium ion battery got created somewhere. I think it was Sony which probably started this. And they started putting it in some of the equipment. And gradually the lithium batteries emerged in the laptops, in the mobile phones in last 30 years. What is lithium battery? If you see the picture on the left, there is a green color of positive electrode. There is the kind of electrolyte, बीच में ब्लू कलर का है, और उसके बीच में एक सेपरेटर है, और राइट साइड में रेडिश कलर का पॉजिटिव इलेक्ट्रोड है, और दोनों साइड में लेफ्ट में एक ब्लैक कलर की पट्टी है विच इज करंट कलेक्टर, राइट साइड में एक ब्लैक कलर की पट्टी है विच इज अ current collector of the positive tone. Now the ions flow inside and the electrons flow from outside. Many of us may be knowing this as fundamental information about electrolysis. Electrolysis अंदर में होता है electrolysis, जिसके कारण एक इलेक्ट्रोड से दूसरे इलेक्ट्रोड के बल्ब लगा देंगे, बल्ब जलेगा। घर में जो टॉर्च का सेल होती है उसमें हम सेल लगाते हैं, बटन दबाते हैं तो लाइट जलती है। वैसे ही है ये सिंपल बैटरी का कॉन्सेप्ट। ओके, जब पावर बाहर चार्जिंग सर्किट लगा के पावर अंदर डिलीवर करते हैं तो उसको कहते हैं चार्जिंग। ओके, यज्ञेश भाई यहाँ पे आप वीडियो चालू कर दो।
ओके सर।
पहला वाला।
ओके सर।
ये दिखता है ना उसके अंदर वो आदमी बैठा हुआ वाला।
हाँ। Sir, kindly allow me to present my screen, sir.
Okay, I have stopped.
Okay.
A portable power supply.
Is it audible, na, sir?
Yes, it is audible. Make it full screen.
Okay, okay, sir.
ऑडियो चला गया। It's not audible now. Let it be in the small portion itself. हाँ, वहीं से चलने दो। No sound.
IC engines is that they only produce usable torque in a narrow band of engine RPM.
Okay.
Considering all of these factors, induction motors are definitely the perfect choice for an automobile. However, the power supply for an induction motor is the real bottleneck in achieving a major induction motor revolution in the automobile industry. Let's explore how Tesla, with the help of lithium-ion cells, solved this issue and why lithium-ion cells are going to become even better in the future. Let's take a Tesla cell out from the battery pack and break it down. You can see different layers of chemical compounds inside it. Tesla's lithium-ion battery works on an interesting concept associated with metals called the electrochemical potential. Electrochemical potential is the tendency of a metal to lose electrons. In fact, the very first cell, developed by Alessandro Volta more than 200 years ago, was based on the concept of electrochemical potential. A general electrochemical series is shown here. According to these values, lithium has the highest tendency to lose electrons, and fluorine has the least tendency to lose electrons. Volta took two metals with different electrochemical potentials, in this case zinc and silver, and created an external flow of electricity. Sony made the first commercial model of a lithium-ion battery in 1991. It was again based on the same concept of electrochemical potential. Lithium, which has the highest tendency to lose electrons, was used in lithium-ion cells. Lithium has only one electron in its outer shell and always wants to lose this electron. Due to this reason, pure lithium is a highly reactive metal. It even reacts with water and air. The trick of a lithium-ion battery operation is the fact that lithium, in its pure form, is a reactive metal. But when lithium is part of a metal oxide, it is quite stable. Assume that somehow we have separated a lithium atom from this metal oxide. This lithium atom is highly unstable and will instantly form a lithium. However, lithium as a part of metal oxide is much more stable than this state. If you can provide two different paths for the electron and lithium-ion flow between the lithium and the metal oxide, the lithium atom will automatically reach the metal oxide part. During this process, we have produced electricity from the electron flow through the one path. From these discussions, it is clear that we can produce electricity from this lithium metal oxide. If we firstly separate out lithium atoms from the lithium metal oxide, and secondly, guide the electrons lost from such lithium atoms through an external circuit. Let's see how lithium-ion cells achieve these two objectives. A practical lithium-ion cell also uses an electrolyte and graphite. Graphite has a layered structure. These layers are loosely bonded so that the separated lithium ions can be stored very easily there. The electrolyte between the graphite and the metal oxide acts as a guard which allows only lithium ions through. Now let's see what happens when you connect a power source across this arrangement. The positive side of the power source will obviously attract and remove electrons from the lithium atoms of the metal oxide. These electrons flow through the external circuit as they cannot flow through the electrolyte and reach the graphite layer. In the meantime, the positively charged lithium ions will be attracted towards the negative terminal and will flow through the electrolyte. Lithium ions also reach the graphite layer space and get trapped there. Once all the lithium atoms reach the graphite sheet, the cell is fully charged. Thus, we have achieved the first objective, which is the lithium ions and electrons detached from the metal oxide. As we discussed, this is an unstable state, as if being perched on top of a hill. As soon as the power source is removed and a load is connected, the lithium ions want to go back to their stable state as a part of the metal oxide. Due to this tendency, the lithium ions move through the electrolyte and electrons via the load, just like sliding down a hill. Thus, we get an electrical current through the load. Please note that the graphite does not have a role in the chemical reaction of the lithium-ion cells. Graphite is just a storage medium for lithium ions. If the internal temperature of the cell rises due to some abnormal condition, the liquid electrolyte will dry up and there will be a short circuit between the anode and cathode, and this can lead to a fire or an explosion. To avoid such a situation, an insulating layer called a separator is placed between the electrodes. The separator is permeable for the lithium ions because of its microporosity. In a practical cell, the graphite and metal oxide are coated onto copper and aluminum foils. The foils act as current collectors here, and the positive and negative tabs can be easily taken out from the current collectors. An organic salt of lithium acts as the electrolyte, and it is coated onto the separator sheet. All these three sheets are wound onto the cylinder around a central steel core, thus making the cell more compact. A standard Tesla cell has a voltage of between 3 and 4.2 volts. Many such Tesla cells are connected in series and in a parallel fashion to form a module. 16 such modules are packed in the Tesla car. Lithium-ion cells produce a lot of heat during the operation, and a high temperature will decay the cell's performance. A battery management system is used to manage the temperature, state of charge, voltage protection, and cell health monitoring of such a huge number of cells. Glycol-based cooling technology is used in a Tesla battery pack. The BMS adjusts to the glycol flow rate to maintain the optimum battery temperature. Voltage protection is another crucial job of the BMS. For example, in these 3 cells, during charging, the higher capacity cell will be charged more than the rest. To solve this problem, the BMS uses something called cell balancing. In cell balancing, all the cells are allowed to charge and discharge equally, thus protecting them from over and under voltage. This is where Tesla scores over Nissan battery technology. The Nissan Leaf has a huge battery cooling issue due to the big size of its cells and the absence of an active cooling method. The small multiple cell design has one more advantage. During high power demand situations, the discharge strain will be divided equally among each of the cells. Instead of many small cells, if we had used a single giant cell, it would have been put under a lot of strain, and eventually it would suffer a premature death. Cylindrical cells, the manufacturing technology of which is already well established, Tesla clearly made a winning decision. There is a magical phenomenon which happens within lithium-ion cells during their very first charge that saves the lithium-ion cells from sudden death. Let's see what it is. The electrons in the graphite layer are a major problem. The electrolyte will be degraded if the electrons come into contact with it. However, the electrons never come into contact with the electrolyte due to an accidental discovery, the solid electrolyte interface. When you charge the cell for the first time, as explained above, the lithium ions move through the electrolyte. Here, in this journey, solvent molecules in the electrolyte cover the lithium ions. When they reach the graphite, the lithium ions, along with the solvent molecules, react with the graphite and form a layer there called the SEI layer. The formation of this SEI layer is a blessing in disguise. It prevents any direct contact between the electrons and the electrolyte, thus saving the electrolyte from degradation. In this overall process of the formation of the SEI layer, it will consume 5% of the lithium. The remaining 95% of the lithium contributes to the main working of the battery. Even though the SEI layer was an accidental discovery, with over 2 decades of research and development, scientists have optimized the thickness and chemistry of the SEI layer for maximum cell performance. It is amazing to find out that those electronic gadgets we used around 2 decades back did not use lithium-ion batteries. With its amazing speed of growth, the lithium-ion battery market is expected to become a $90 billion annual industry within a few years. The currently achieved number of charge-discharge cycles of a lithium-ion battery is around 3,000. Great minds across the globe are putting their best efforts into increasing this to 10,000 cycles. That means you would not have to worry about replacing the battery in your car for 25 years. Millions of dollars have already been invested in research into replacing the storage medium graphite with silicon. If this is successful, the energy density of the lithium-ion cell will increase 5 times. We hope this video provided you with a clear conceptual understanding about lithium-ion cells and their future. If you would like to learn more about the lithium-ion cells used in mobile.
Okay, Agnesh bhai. Okay, so any comments on the video?
Yeah, sorry, sir.
From participants? Have you seen it before? पहले कभी देखा है क्या ये? Okay, so see, this video was with an aim to understand what actually happens inside the battery. For most of the people who are going to use lithium batteries may not necessarily need to know everything inside of it. But as a student or as a faculty, we need to know what happens. हो सकता है हम अपने हाथ से बनाएंगे नहीं, कभी लगाएंगे नहीं, कभी समझने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. But what we do in school is learning, which we apply later in life. So this was most of a, see, the content was more of a chemical kind of a content. Okay? So you heard so many terms in the presentation or the video. There's something called a cell. Now the definition of a cell is basic electrochemical unit that is used to create electrical energy from stored to store electric energy in the form of chemical energy. A basic cell consists of two electrodes with an electrolyte between them. ये जो AA, AAA cell आता है, that is a cell which even the video showed that as a cell. Capacity. Now the capacity of a battery or a cell is defined as an amount of energy. It's in the form of a milliampere hours. Today, most of our younger generation is very clear. कि मेरे बैटरी में 4800 मिलियन आवर्स है, तो ये आराम से 3 दिन चलेगा. कोई बोलेगा सर मेरा यार मेरे वाले में तो 3000 मिलियन आवर्स ही है, तो ये तो 1.5 दिन मुझे चार्ज करना पड़ता है. So that's the capacity of the battery. Then there is something called a C rate. Now the definition of a charge rate of a battery or a cell is the charge or the discharge in the current as a proportion to the rated capacity. So you can say C. 1C means full capacity in 1 hour. 2C means 2 hours. 250 milliampere hours is 2C for a 500 milliampere. Means divided by 2 होगा तो 2C हो जाएगा. Okay. Then something called cycle life. How many cycles it can give us? Like in the example in the video, originally when the video started, it was with 1000 cycles. But today the research is going on to make it into 3000 cycles. Now what is a cycle? When you use the battery, normally this input is relevant for all the people who are listening now. What is a cycle? Try to use your battery between 20% and 80%. Please charge your mobile from when the battery goes below 20% and charge it just above 80%. You will get maximum life of the battery. The moment you go to more than 100%, रात को चार्जिंग में लगा देते हैं और सुबह निकालते हैं फोन को, तो there is something called floating charge which is at 100%. It keeps charging. That's not a good thing. It reduces your life of the chemicals inside. What is energy density? Energy density has something to do with per liter of watt hours. 1 watt hour per liter. 1 लीटर का अगर पूरा कंपोजिशन हम यूज करेंगे तो वो कितना वैट आवर देगा. And similarly, there is something called specific energy. Specific energy is in form of watt hours per kg and per liter. Okay, so these are few relevant battery terms which will come of use in the future slides. This is mostly the most important ones. If you go to buy a battery, you will say milliampere hours, so wo ho gaya capacity. Today, the lithium battery price parity is, let's say, $150 per kilowatt. This is a new term. How much does it charge to buy how much does it cost in dollar terms to buy a 1 kilowatt lithium? So it's about $150. It used to be $1,000 per kilowatt about 10 years back. In 10 years, it has dropped so much. Okay. Now let us see the material side of the battery. In the presentation, you will see this is the potential, lithium potential voltage. This is voltage graph, and this is density graph or a specific capacity graph, means ampere hour per kg. 1000, 2000, 4000. What kind of metal is used? These are the negative electrode material and these are the positive electrode material. So mostly the positive, if you use both sides lithium, you will have a fantastic results, but it is not going to be easy. It is very, very costly and it has its own safety risks also. So in the, if you see, we are somewhere in the range of 100 and 200 odd ampere hours. This is 110 ampere hour per kg of 4.1 volt. You need a good voltage. You cannot work at 1 volt for any usage. You will see most of our TTL logic works after 3.4 volts. डिजिटल में बुलियन लॉजिक में 0 और 1 कहते हैं, तो कोई भी गेट 0 जब होगा जब उसका वोल्टेज 3.4 से नीचे हो जाएगा, और वो जैसे ही 3.4 से ऊपर होगा तो उसको हम स्टेट 1 कहते हैं. सो बुलियन लॉजिक में 0 और 1 होने के लिए 3.4 वोल्ट का ट्रिगर है. ये आप नोटिस करेंगे, ये जो पॉइंट है, this is roughly around 3.4 volt. So all the material which can give more than 3.4 volt are coming in positive electrode. You will find mostly what we are using today in the market is these 4 red dots, which are in 4.1 volt, 3.9 volt and 3.8 volt. There are 3 different combination of material with usage of lithium in it. And their density, you see the density is much lesser than even around 100. This is around 100 milliampere hour per kg. So the density is much lower. Now, if you look on the right hand side, there are 3 major associated metals available in the earth which get a combination alloy made with lithium. One is cobalt. You have cobalt here in this grid. This line is cobalt. From this to this is nickel, and from this to this is manganese. So you get a combination of cobalt, nickel and manganese. And the industry has standardized certain terms. You see, there is something called NCM, nickel, cadmium, manganese in the combination of 8-1-1. Means 8 proportions of nickel, 1 proportion of cobalt and 1 proportion of nickel. So it's somewhere here. Then you have NCM 622, NCM 523. These are different stable combinations used which produce electrode which is used in the battery. And this is on the basis of combinations which we will see later, what are pluses and what are minuses. So now let us look at these metals. Cobalt. Cobalt is available in the world, least available in the world, and it is available only and only in Africa. That too in the रिपब्लिक ऑफ कॉन्गो, PRC बोलता है उसको. कॉन्गो के अंदर जो माइनिंग होती है, 2-4 पिक्चर भी बनी है उसके ऊपर में, किस तरह से वो लोग माइनिंग करता है, कितना वहां पे एक्सप्लॉयटेशन ऑफ एम्प्लॉयज है या वर्कर्स है, पूरा माइनिंग इंडस्ट्री बहुत ही डेंजरस तरीके से वहां माइनिंग होती है. एंड दैट इज वन रीजन द एंटायर वर्ल्ड इज सेइंग दैट वी शुड नॉट टच कोबाल्ट बिकॉज इट may disturb the entire balance of the state of Congo. You have enough of nickel, so you will see that the nickel prices in last 2-3 months have started going up because nickel is directly going to be used in electric vehicle, very, very much. Then manganese is abundantly available. So combination of nickel, manganese and cobalt in combination will give us some good chemistry. These are different shapes. We in the video saw a pouch. Pouch is something that you will see in a mobile. Or some of the makers do a prismatic. Prismatic means prism बनाता है, but अंदर में ऐसे ही एक layer बना के लगाएगा. इसके अंदर क्या करेगा, layer को ऐसे ऐसे करके set बना के लगा देगा. And this is a cylindrical cell which we saw how the formation got done in the video. So they have, each of them has a positive and negative. See, mechanical strength is highest in case of battery because you are, making a circle out of it. So the entire density of the material is well within the combination of all the sides. So this makes mechanical strength very well. But heat dissipation is not good because the internal layers, heat moving out is very difficult. तो गर्म होता है तो ये dangerous हो जाए इसके लिए. Specific energy is only single plus. Energy density is single plus. If you come to prismatic, this is also wound, but this has very good mechanical strength, heat strength, specific energy, and energy density also. Stacked, it has less mechanical strength. It's a thin one. आपने देखा हो एक पाउच जैसा बन जाता है. It's like शैम्पू का पाउच होता है ना, वैसे थोड़ा सा फ्लेक्सिबल होता है, इसीलिए मैकेनिकल स्ट्रेंथ कम है, बट इसका स्पेसिफिक डेंसिटी बहुत अच्छा होता है. Okay, this is the combination of chemicals. This is lithium cobalt oxide, this is manganese oxide, this is lithium ferrous phosphate, this is NMC, nickel, manganese and cobalt. This is nickel, cobalt, aluminium, and this is lithium titanium oxide. Now, if you see the combination on 6 parameters, there is something called a capacity, specific power, safety, performance, delivery of charge, lifespan, and cost. One of the best right now, which is in manufacturing, is LFP, because it may be a bit low on specific gravity, specific energy, but it's good in power, safety, performance is to 4 cells. Lifespan is good, it gives you a much longer life. Second best is NMC. NMC 811 will be one of the best produced. It's got very high energy specificity, capacity, power, safety, most of the things are good. This is not so good in safety, you see. Cobalt renaissance, though cobalt is used for some element of safety, but safety in case of combination with aluminium is not good. Even this is not good for safety. So mostly you will find either a LFP battery or a NMC battery. How a cell is manufactured? You need to create a slurry. That slurry is coated and you dry it also with a chamber, so it gets stuck in a form of a tape. Then you have to calender it. There is something called a calendering, means you compress this dried slurry so thinly between the rollers. That is called calendering. And when you calenderize it, you also make the porousness in it. Okay, you can create porous, the porousness becomes visible. Now it is ready for making into a shape of electrode. See, this is the tab. On the top will be a tab. This is the positive one, this is the negative one. The two sets will be captured and plussed. See, this gray is one polarity and red is the other polarity, and then you create a cell assembly. This kind of a cell assembly is made and you can make it into a pouch. This is a pouch or even a prismatic. But to make a cylinder will not, this kind of a long cell will be required to be made. So this manufacturing is a lot happening right now in China. A lot of research is in place also in Germany. USA also has it. Japan has a little bit of it. Mostly it is there in China, US, Europe, and a little bit in Japan. Actually, it started with Japan, if you remember. More than, depending, we have only seen the cell manufacturing side. If you see the entire value chain of this, one is extraction. You have to do mining. Now the mining has totally a business in the range of 50 to 70 billion will be spent by another 5 years for lithium, cobalt, carbon, graphite, and nickel. Next comes this chemical process, which we saw a part of it, the calendering, then making the liquid to dry condition. That has got about 15 billion. And this chemical processing, we are lucky to be sitting in Gujarat. There are one setup which a collaboration between Suzuki, Toshiba, and Denso. They are setting up four assembly lines for this chemical processing for making cells in Hansalpur. I think it's called automotive electrical.
Hello. Hello.
तुम्हारा फोन लगा ना इसमें लगा।
I think some network issue there.
Hello. I think there is some network issue here with us. Meanwhile, we are resolving it.
Okay.
Okay. No problem. There might be some issue, so just bear with us. We will resolve it soon.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me start. Which was the last? Let me present again. Thanks to the internet. Somebody has to tell me where should I stop.
कैसे पता चलेगा? हमारा भी नेटवर्क इशू है।
Okay, can you see?
Slide or one.
Yes, it is visible. Kindly maximize it.
नहीं
मैक्सिमाइज यही मैक्सिमम है.
No problem, sir. Please carry on with this one.
Is this slide the right place where it got disconnected?
Participants, can you help us? Actually, we also had faced the similar issue.
I think one slide after that.
One slide after that, okay. This one?
Yes.
Okay. So it is important to know the entire supply chain. See, this extraction, mining is mostly, let me give you a little more detail about the lithium supplies or the mines in the world. Lithium is available in two forms. One is in a brine form, मतलब पानी जैसा होता है वो, जैसे नमक होता है, और दूसरा होता है वो रॉक्स के अंदर होता है. नो, जैसे हमारे देश में वेस्टर्न घाट है ना, पूरा केरला से लेके गुजरात तक एक लंबा घाट फॉर्म हुआ है. ऐसा ही घाट फॉर्म हुआ है साउथ अमेरिका में भी. तो अर्जेंटीना, बोलीविया, पेरू, ये जो कंट्रीज है, इनके अंदर भी ऐसे ही लंबा सा रॉक फॉर्मेशन है. उस रॉक फॉर्मेशन के अंदर में मैक्सिमम लिथियम अवेलेबल है. Chile, Argentina, Bolivia, these countries have a lot of lithium embedded inside of the rocks. World का maximum lithium वहीं पे है. Then is there in Australia. Second source is, I think, China, not Australia. Third source is in Australia. तो ये तीन जगह से लिथियम एक्सट्रैक्शन होता है. आज के दिन में क्या होता है, ये मेजरली दो जगह, चाइना अपना लिथियम निकाल नहीं रहा है अभी भी लिथियम निकल रहा है, और मोस्टली साउथ अमेरिका का निकल रहा है, और चाइना ने वहां पे बहुत बड़े बड़े एरियाज को कैप्चर कर लिया है. तो वहां से लिथियम निकलता है माइन के. स्पोडुमिन नाम का एक केमिकल बनता है, स्पोडुमिन, और वो वहां से चाइना आता है. चाइना के अंदर में केमिकल प्रोसेसिंग होता है, विच इज दिस नेक्स्ट लिथियम केमिकल प्लांट एंड निकल सल्फेट प्लांट्स. ये सारा होता है चाइना में. उसके बाद कैथोड बनता है, उसके बाद सेल अलग अलग जगह भी बन सकता है ना. पहला लिथियम जो एक्सट्रैक्शन है, लिथियम ग्राफाइट, ग्राफीन या ग्राफाइट निकल में 50 to 70 बिलियन का बिजनेस है. ये केमिकल प्लांट्स में 15 बिलियन का बिजनेस है. कैथोड में एनोड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का 40 बिलियन का बिजनेस है. और cell formation is about 130 billion. This is the biggest earning area. How many of you are aware that Hansalpur in Gujarat has a factory in the combination of Suzuki? 50% share belongs to Suzuki, 40% share belongs to Toshiba, and 10% share belongs to Denso. These three companies have invested and are planning to invest 5,000 crores in 4 assembly lines for manufacturing the cells. Okay, let's go to the next. Okay, in the world, China has the highest planning. China is planning to have highest volume of cell manufacturing by 2030. The blue is 2020. The deeper, darker gray is 2025 business, 2025 capacity, and 2030 is the gray. So CATL is a Chinese company. It is planning to have 330 gigawatt hours capacity. Similarly, LG Chem is a chemical division of LG in Korea, 230. Then BYD is a Chinese automotive company. Tesla, in a collaboration with Panasonic, has planned 150 odd gigawatt hours. Samsung, and there are 2-3 more Chinese companies, Korean SK Innovation and Panasonic. So much of investment is declared and can be seen in next 10 years. Who is going with whom? If you look at the automotive manufacturers, there are so many automotive manufacturers. CATL is collaboration with Toyota, Geely, SAIC, FAW, Dongfeng, Honda, NIO. These are the people who are invested into CATL batteries. LG Chem is with Hyundai, General Motor and Geely. Panasonic with Tesla. Faras is BYD SCFT. You see, there is only one Indian name here, that is Goshen with Tata. Tata is also going ahead with the TACO, the Tata Chemical, the TCS put together are planning to manufacture lithium batteries in India. Mahindra has made an agreement with LG Chem to manufacture batteries in Chakan. So there are, and there is one more new player in Gujarat who is setting up a lithium-ion batteries. Some Manikarnika or Manika something, some name is there like that. The battery manufacturing, the projections for US is they will have somewhere around 4 lakh to 8 lakh jobs by 2030 in the business of battery manufacturing. These are the capacities of battery production that they are projecting. We saw in previous slide also. 1 gigawatt hour of battery can generate 40 jobs in direct production, about 200 jobs in indirect productions, in upstream or value chain, as well as in materials and R&D and equipment manufacturers. And okay, you can see on the right hand side, mostly the future for US is in the passenger car and the commercial vehicles. Whereas in India, whatever government has put a policy, we will not have major chunk of EV in passenger cars. It will be mostly in two-wheelers and commercial auto rickshaws, three-wheelers and buses. A much lesser focus is given to passenger cars in next 10 years. What is going to happen in the mineral industry? You see, the major chunk requirement in future will be copper, about 20%, aluminum is another 20%, graphite is 20%, nickel is 20%, and remaining cobalt, lithium, magnesium is all in 5 to 7%. So much of manufacturing is going to happen in the world for lithium battery. हम अगर पेट्रोलियम को हटाएंगे तो इतना ज्यादा माइनिंग पे फोकस आएगा. एल्यूमिनियम, कॉपर ये ऑलरेडी हो रहा है. इट्स एनीवे used in the automotive very well, electrical and automotive field में, but graphite not so much as in ICE engines. Nickel will be a new element that will be extracted a lot more. Okay, what is BMS? What does BMS do? There was some hint that came about in the in the video. See, mostly the BMS, okay, there's one important thing we have to understand. EV industry आने से IT को क्या होगा? Actually speaking, IT will gain maximum by electric vehicle. बोलता है एक कार को बनाने में 1 million codes लिखना पड़ता है. 1 million codes in one electric vehicle. So IT is, the usage of IT is going to be highest. Everything that goes about in the electric vehicle because of the we'll see in the next 1 or 2 slides. Software for what design is required. It will be there will be a software monitoring the cell voltage the pack current and the temperature of the cells. The cell balancing as was shown in the video, कौन सा cell में already ज़्यादा charge है तो उसको और ज़्यादा charge नहीं करना है, वो balancing होगा. Then estimating the charge, state of charge and state of health, and advanced estimation of state of power and state of safety. अभी भी गाड़ी में ना there is something called range availability. If you are traveling on a 500 kilometer journey, you would definitely like to know कि मेरा 500 किलोमीटर कवर हो जाएगा कि नहीं. तो वो जो प्रोजेक्शन है वो भी BMS ही करता है. एंड कहीं जीरो के पास न चला जाए या चार्जिंग होके 100% के पास न चला जाए, that state of safety is also under BMS control. And then it has to continuously monitor the health of the cell. Like if you know, most of the batteries that we use in our mobiles are considered to be good till they have 80% life balance. After 80% life balance, the rate of deterioration, the derating takes place very, very rapidly. So most of these mobile manufacturers, you know, they insist कि आपका बैटरी state of health अगर 80% से नीचे आ गया है तो आप replace करवा लो. So it can run better, but you will not be able to get a good, talk time or the video watching time. Then the thermal management, कब कूलेंट चलाना है, कब कूलेंट बंद करना है, एयर वाला है तो कैसे करना है वो, that is done by that. Compatible with wide range of cells. हो सकता है आपका केमिकल चेंज हो जाएगा तो आपको सॉफ्टवेयर डिफाइन डिफरेंटली करना होगा. ये जितना भी टेक्निक्स बताया इसका लिमिट्स चेंज हो जाएगा. देन फेलियर डिटेक्शन इन द सिस्टम, कोई एक सेल गड़बड़ हो रहा है तो उसको या सर्किट से बाहर करना या उसको डिटेक्ट करके बताना. इफ यू सी द ह्यूज मैकेनिज्म दैट Tesla has put in place, they have to make sure that if there is a weak cell, either it is out of the circuit or they can take a corrective action on that automatically or by manually. So that has to be done. And then the architecture should be modular and scalable so that, replacement or buffering. See, recently, what happened is Tesla has about 20% buffer. So when the lockdown took place and then the charging was not possible, or when in certain areas of Canada there was a huge snow formation, so they software programmed all their vehicles to use the 10% buffer, so they could use the same battery for a longer time rather than trying to look for a charger nearby. So all that is possible to be done intelligently. That is the basic job of battery management. See what is there in an EV. You will have a body control unit. You will have battery sensors, stand sensor, two-wheeler ka hai, I think. Then there is a gyro sensor for balancing the vehicle. Then there is a this is a hybrid vehicle ka hai, isliye isme fuel sensor bhi hai. So you will have to manage telematics. BMS is just a small part of it. The entire IT is into this screen. आपको बैटरी मैनेज करना है, सारे टाइप के सेंसर मैनेज करना है, स्पीड मैनेज करना है, डीसी कैन बस पे होगा, लैंप लोड होगा, टेलेमैटिक्स इज कमिंग अप वेरी वेरी ह्यूजली. आज मोबाइल में जो है वो सारा टेलेमैटिक्स में आ जाएगा. You can do everything that you do in a mobile in this telematics on your bike while you travel. And then automatic, obviously you have to manage the power drain. So this is the level of IT integration that will be there, whether it is a two-wheeler or it is a four-wheeler. Okay. What actually happens inside the BMS? You will have contactor fuse which will be getting a feedback from vehicle control. Then there will be this is the BMS. Redundancy can have some spare cells or a buffer to process the various data that is coming from current or voltage or redundancies. So this is your module. Each of the module will be monitored, and then this will be the entire module management. There will be lithium. So this kind of a electronic circuit is in place. Most of the battery packers, the pack has this system onto it, and it gives this kind of a display onto either the diagnostic device or it can be on the car ka dashboard. This kind of control possible, and this is readily available in the market today. Anybody, what is happening is these modules have got developed by many companies. So if you are trying to make a car, two-wheeler, you can simply go take the electronic device with it and fit it into the battery system. Ban gaya ready. This is readily available today. Okay. But as I told you initially, batteries are recycled. And what is the future for recycling? See, today we are in this range, 145 kilotons of lithium batteries in recycling, and this will become almost 400 by this time. And you will see mostly it is in US. Canada is going mostly for four-wheelers. Okay, China and Korea, rather this is China. Okay, US has not been able to do so much. China mein last year 2.8 crore bikes were produced in electric. 2019 ka data hai. So they are way ahead. China will be having maximum recycling. Then is South Korea. Then is Europe. Europe बहुत पीछे है. अभी recently Europe चालू किया है काम करना. Then Japan is a small part, and US. What is the use? You can use these batteries in recycling. Means automotive से निकला हुआ बैटरी हम सोलर सेल में यूज कर सकते हैं, कोई और जगह पे यूज कर सकते हैं, लेड एसिड की जगह पे हम इसको यूज कर सकते हैं. So this is one aspect. Then is the business cycle, how it happens. Used battery कोई फेंक भी देता है, then उसको refurbish का companies है, then raw material extraction होता है. We'll see in the next slide what is this raw material extraction, and then it can go back to battery manufacturer. After refurbishing, it can some part of it can come to the extraction industry. What is the current projection of life of a battery? Three-wheeler का बैटरी 3 साल चलता है, बस का बैटरी 4 साल चलेगा, टू-व्हीलर का बैटरी 5 साल चलेगा, फोर-व्हीलर का बैटरी 8 साल चलेगा, स्टोरेज में 8-8 साल चलता है, और बाकी कई जगहों पे 10-10 साल तक बैटरी लगाने के बाद उसको कुछ नहीं करना. So this is the capacity at which we will have to create the battery recycling. Mostly it is in two-wheeler and three-wheeler because their durations are smaller. करता कैसे है? बैटरी को तोड़ के लिथियम बैटरी निकलता है, उसमें से आयरन, प्लास्टिक अलग होता है, एल्यूमिनियम, कॉपर अलग होता है, इलेक्ट्रोड्स अलग होता है, और जो ऑर्गेनिक टॉक्सिकेंट है उसको भी निकालते हैं. ये केमिकल के फैक्ट्री में जाता है, और ये जो सारा है ये फर्नेसेस में जाके मटेरियल बना के, रॉ मटेरियल बना के फिर नया बैटरी के लिए यूज हो जाता है. सो दिस इज हाउ द एंटायर मटेरियल कंटेंट ऑफ द बैटरी कैन बी रीयूज्ड. This is a small battery pack, 7,500 milliampere hours. This is 4 series and 4 parallel of 3.7 volt. Each of them is 2,000 milliampere hours, and totally 16 cells are there. Output is 15 volt. Cycle is only 500 to be discarded after 80%. Okay. This is a two-wheeler. This is another e-bike battery, 48 volt, 24 amperes, 8 kg weight, lithium ion, and can discharge 35 amperes to the max, and charging is around 3 amperes. So normal जो घर का domestic plug होता है ना, वो 5 ampere का होता है. That is good enough to charge this battery. Similarly, another packing, 11 kg. ये आई थिंक पीपल लाइक हीरो इलेक्ट्रिक वगैरह में भी पैर रखते हैं ना स्कूटर के नीचे, उसके नीचे लगा रहता है. हीटर मोटरसाइकिल, 1000 cycles can be customized. These are all manufacturers of battery in India. This is another combination of 51 volt. This is a lithium phosphate cylindrical. इसके अंदर cylindrical cells को लगा के ये combination बनाया है उन्होंने. 18 kg, 1.8 kilowatt, अच्छा capacity है. 7 amperes का है ये, and 20 amperes का maximum discharge possible है. मतलब this discharge determines the acceleration of the bike, maximum discharge. And this comes with the inbuilt BMS. Okay, that is about the different use cases. This we have already seen this in case of Tesla. This is for NG का जो गाड़ी बनता है हलोल में, उसका picture है ये. 44 किलोवाट आवर्स का बैटरी है and 6 से 8 घंटा लगता है चार्ज करने में. This is a new development. This is solid state battery, looks like a pouch. The biggest innovation is the separator, which is flexible, and this is solid. So the electrolyte is solid with the separator made like with a poly separator, and it is more like a playing card. And this does not have liquid electrolyte at all. But this has just been discovered along with this is, I think, a company called Quantum Space. Quantum Space came out with this battery about 2 months back, and the head of the company who was involved in this is an Indian, and this is encouraged by Volkswagen. It will be ready will be available in the market by 2025. अभी ये research stage से निकला है. Then is Tesla came up with a new combination of a cell. Initially the cell was 18 something, now it is 4680. इसके चेंज करने से, सेल का डिजाइन को चेंज करने से कॉस्ट रिड्यूस हुआ है. फैक्ट्री में मैन्युफैक्चर करना आसान हो गया है. एनोड मटेरियल दे आर प्लानिंग टू नाउ गो फॉर सिलिकॉन. कैथोड मटेरियल दे आर ट्राइंग टू गेट लिथियम इन यूएस, so that this other countries के ऊपर उसको डिपेंड नहीं करना पड़ेगा. नहीं तो किसी भी दिन वो कॉन्गो हो या चिली हो, they can take US to the ransom. And then बैटरी सेल्स जो लाया, इससे इन्होंने स्ट्रक्चर में कुछ चेंजेस किया है, which I assume there will be a session by Tesla engineer maybe tomorrow, so there may be some more details on this. I'm not going into it. And one of the recent Israeli innovation is that they call it fast charging. Fast charging, they already invented a two-wheeler whose battery can be charged in 5 minutes. So this material of the batteries, they are talking about nanomaterial, then they are talking about organic additives. This is not a pure chemical, this is organic. Okay. Yagnesh bhai, ye video chala dena.
Yes, sir.
That will be the last.
Sir, allow me to presenting.
Yeah, just a minute. Yeah.
Is it visible, sir?
Yeah, coming to visible. Yeah.
In an interview in 2017, Musk was told that electricity was becoming a luxury for some, if not for most people living in South Australia.
Cost of power is making it almost a luxury item.
Wow. Really? Where the electricity prices had skyrocketed.
There are Australians today wondering if they can even turn on their... There are Australians today wondering, well, should we go without some food?
A visibly upset Musk had this to say. Back in 2016, the Australian blackout was a large-scale power blackout that happened because of storm damage to the electricity infrastructure. Because of the interconnected nature of the electricity transmission network, wherein the failure of one node would result in the rapid failure of the other,
Thus, a cascading failure resulted in the entire blackout of the southern central part of Australia, affecting as many as 850,000 families. The gale storms and lightning strikes made the already declining infrastructure of South Australia worse. Being a country which has one of the largest coal reserves and natural gas reserves, not to mention that most of the areas in Australia get an exceptional amount of sunlight, one might expect the energy prices to be cheap. But unfortunately, Australia has the 6th most expensive energy in the whole world. The situation has actually gone worse, where according to an Australian Competition Consumer Commission, ACCC, it was found that people paid 44% more for electricity than an average family did 10 years ago. Musk pledged that he would build a battery farm to stop the frequent outages that were happening in South Australia. He even pledged that he would deliver it for free to the South Australian government if it took more than 100 days. Today, the world's largest lithium-ion battery farm is live in South Australia, and Musk delivered the battery farm within 63 days after signing. This ended the high price spikes, prolonged outages, and not to mention the political brawls over battery power in South Australia. 30,000 South Australian households could one episode of Australia's Ninja Warrior with this big battery. By all means, have the world's biggest battery, have the world's biggest banana, have the world's biggest prawn.
Right this moment, there is a mad rush in America. Apple, Amazon, Facebook doesn't.
Tesla created the 100 NW battery storage farm in the Hornsdale Power Reserve, which mostly uses wind and solar power, costing Tesla about $50 million. This resulted in the network cost being slashed to around $76 million and also reduced the cost to regulate South Australia's grid by a whopping 91%. A Bloomberg financial analyst noted the effects the battery farm had, saying, "Not only has the Hornsdale Power Reserve identified how batteries can physically help the grid, it has also shown how they can make money along the way." Tesla said in a statement, "The completion of the world's largest lithium-ion battery in record time shows that a sustainable, effective energy solution is possible, and hope this project provides a model for future deployments around the world." With this, Musk proved that renewable energy can be effectively stored in storage solutions and can be used in the event of failure of the large-scale network transmissions, a feature too common in tornado and other natural disaster-hit areas. Tesla has been pushing its battery storage solutions and solar panels after it acquired SolarCity, a venture started by Musk's cousins in June 2016 for $2.5 to $3 billion. Musk said that the reason for this is creating a seamlessly integrated Tesla battery and solar power product that looks beautiful. The merger was completed later in 2016. With the merger completion, Tesla Motors Incorporated changed its name to Tesla Incorporated. Musk is pushing hard for solar energy. He compared the sun to a nuclear fusion reactor without the nuclear waste. After acquiring SolarCity, Musk announced, which is designed to look like normal roof tiles, where the photovoltaic cells would make up the entire roof surface rather than mounting the traditional solar panels to the existing roof. The most important announcement came in the form of battery storage solutions Tesla Powerwall 2, a home battery product that was introduced to store the surplus power either from the tiles, solar panels, or from the grid. As of 2020, Tesla is still tinkering with the product 3 years after announcing the concept, having done trial installations with 2 different iterations so far. There's something of a work still in progress. Despite being announced 3 years back, Tesla still hasn't performed many actual installations of its solar roof. During
Jagdish bhai, band kar do, ab bas ho gaya.
Musk said that the third iteration of the tile was being worked on. Musk is pushing hard for solar energy as a means to
So that was a clear case of how lithium batteries could save huge amount of shame for the Australian government by installing that kind of a farm, lithium-ion battery farm. Okay. Yeah, so that's all. There's a lot more to come in future on lithium-ion batteries. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. If any questions having from participant side, may ask. Hello. Participants may raise their question if you have. Then may ask to our speaker. Sir, in chat box, I think having some suggestions or some information.
I can't see the chat box. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think there is a question or a suggestion from KG Unnikrishnan. He says that thank you for helicopter view. Now the constraint that he's putting across very well is that India being a country which has 50-degree conditions, so BMS is still a challenge for Indian conditions. That is quite true. Cooling is an issue that will be addressed. That needs to be addressed. One or two companies have been able to do, but not so much. Anyway, thank you, Uni-san.
Anyone having the questions, or may we conclude the session? Sir, shall we conclude the sessions? I think no questions may have
Yeah,
from.
okay. Yeah.
Yagnesh, Professor
Yes.
Yagnesh, before you conclude the session and give a vote of thanks, I would like to add something about Subhash Joshi sir. Yeah, Subhash Joshi sir, Sanjay here.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, Subhash Joshi sir has delivered an expert lecture in the month of October before this also, and due to some medical reason I could not attend it. So yesterday when I talked to him, he said that I insist you to be there. So sir, I'm here since 11:30 a.m. and the lecture was really, I mean, very informative, full of informative data and everything, and it was a really amazing experience with you to be here. Thank you, sir.
I hope everyone has a fairly clear idea about how things are going to be in future. There's a lot of scope for automotive engineers to be in this field of battery. Okay.
Yeah, true. In fact, people used to say that alternate fuels and electric vehicles, all these are the future of automobile, but it is not future, it is present. I think.
Yeah, quite right.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you, sir. Yagnesh, you may proceed with your vote of thanks and this thing, please.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
So, sir, first thing is very happy to see you again on online mode as an eminent speaker, and you have shared such a wonderful presentation among all the participants. So, I would like to thank you so much, sir, for presenting lithium batteries and what are their key roles as a alternative fuels for future mobility. So, on behalf of ADIT College Automobile and Mechanical Engineering Department, I would like to thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation and spending your valuable time, sir.
It has been a great pleasure being with the FD during the FDV of ADIT, and ADIT has already touched my heart so closely. So any moment I would be very keen to come and have a session in place whenever it becomes possible due to the COVID, and meet all of you once.
Your family.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you all the participants for having a patient hearing. Thank you so much. And bye-bye to all of you.
Thank you, sir.
May I leave the call now, Dr. Patel?
Yeah,
Yes,
please,
sir.
You may leave.
Okay, thank you all of you. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank
Patel.
you for your time, sir.
Professor Yagnesh.
Yeah, so I think Yagnesh, we can conclude the session, right? And